Hey guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. It is Wednesday and we are halfway through this week. This week is just going by like a bullet. So just a couple things to talk about today. But first, I want to talk about the conference that's coming up. So every year, AHIMA annually holds a conference, and this year is going to be in another spectacular place because last year it was in Miami. This year it will be in Chicago, Illinois, and it will be from on September 14th through the 18th. And if you're looking at a calendar, September 14th is a Saturday. So they have pre-packaged pre-convention classes before the official kickoff, which is on Sunday. They have the welcoming ceremony on Sunday evening when everybody gets in, and then it starts the week or the few days, the 3 days of convention. So it is the 91st annual AHIMA Health Data and Information Conference. That is the official name. So registration will open on April the 1st, and early bird pricing will run until July 15th. So if you're interested in attending this year, it is a wonderful way to network and meet people, because not only do you get to socialize with everybody between classes, but you get to ask a lot of questions from different leaders in the industry, and they always have a great speaker, and I cannot wait till they give the lineup on who is going to be speaking. You see how excited I get? I get tongue-tied. So they usually have a really good lineup on speakers. I'm very excited. So we'll see. And of course, as I know information, I will be sharing it here with all of you. So if you are interested in going, I strongly suggest that you start planning as soon as you possibly can. Now, there are some facilities that pay for their employees to go to this conference, but I'm not one of those lucky ones. So I always pay for myself, and it's fine. I mean, I'm totally okay with doing that. But if you aren't sure, or if you don't know, ask around and find out in your workplace if they have funds to send coders to conference. And remember, you get CEUs for going to these conferences. So all this information that you bring back will be helpful for your facility and for you. It'll make you a better coder. So you can always argue that. Early bird pricing runs through July 15th. And so make sure that you check the website at ahima.org. It's AHIMA.org. So that's my little commercial part right off for today's episode. So yesterday I got a viewer comment on one of my videos. There was a question about what sort of advice do I have for memorizing guidelines. So when you are starting out and you're studying medical coding, I suggest being as not as hard on yourself to memorize things, because the thing about guidelines is they do get updated. So what may be applicable this year may not be applicable next year. So my suggestion to you would be this: just read the guidelines and get familiar. So as long as you're reading and getting familiar, you don't have to memorize, just read it. And believe it or not, like, your brain kind of soaks in information, and as you keep soaking in that information, as you keep reading the guidelines, whether it's the diagnosis coding guidelines or the procedure coding guidelines, it will start to stick after a while. You'll start to remember. So you really don't have to memorize. It's more of just, you can read it and then it'll commit to memory. So if you don't put a lot of pressure on yourself, and that's another thing too when I was studying, is if I didn't put a lot of pressure on myself to remember things, it kind of stuck better. Like, the more pressure I put on myself, the harder that it was. And you're already under enough pressure as it is when you are learning medical coding to recall things. So don't put more pressure on yourself trying to memorize things. Just read. And even if you're reading these guidelines once a week, it'll still stick in your head better than if you're trying to memorize, like literally memorize. Another thing too would be to do flashcards. So now I know this seems really simple, but flashcards was what helped me. And just doing drills and looking at them. And when you're writing these flashcards, and it's very simple to do a flashcard, you write a question on one side and you write the answer on the other. So all you have to do is, whenever you have downtime, is just look at your flashcards and quiz yourself, or have a fellow student quiz you. It's always good to do a partnership when you're studying. Try to do that. Find somebody that is as committed as you in studying to do things like that. That's another suggestion that I have, but don't put a lot of pressure on yourself to literally memorize guidelines, because they do change. But as long as you know the broad strokes and you know the basics, you'll be fine. So that is my advice on that. Today was another very productive day. This is also Health Information Professionals Week. So it's HIP Week. And so if you are out there and you are in the health information field, happy HIP Week. And so today is Doctor's Day too. So we share our week with doctors. So if you are a healthcare professional out there and you're watching this, we thank you for everything that you do. And if you are part of the coding lifestyle or part of the coding community, this week is our week too. So congratulations. And it is a very, very tough field to be in sometimes, but the rewards are there. So you just got to keep after it. And yeah. So that's my video for today. It's very quick because I have a luncheon to prepare for tomorrow, and I have a few other things I have to do around town. So but I just wanted to come on and say hi to everybody and give that information about conference. So if you're thinking about it, start planning sooner rather than later. So anyway, I will see y'all on the next video. And if you like the world of medical coding, and if you're curious about what it is to be a medical coder, like and subscribe so you can be the first to share in my journey and what goes on with me. So I will see y'all on the next video. Bye.